Hey, Read Through the Word. Today is February 23rd, and you got a theme going on with me this week. Today's lesson is called Jesus, Only Jesus. We are in Leviticus chapter 22, verses 31 through 33. It says this: "You must faithfully keep all my commands by putting them into practice, for I am the Lord. Do not bring shame on my holy name, for I will display my holiness among the people of Israel. I am the Lord who makes you holy. It was I who rescued you from the land of Egypt, that I might be your God. I am the Lord." Okay, my chit chat with Linda, I said, somebody's going to say, "Lisa, you're getting a little repetitive here." I'm like, it's not me, it's the Bible. It's what I tell my students, excuse me, all the time. They're at that age, they're always trying to find a devotional, or they're in such a social media age, and we can complain and scream about it all day long, or we can teach them how to use it wisely. So I teach them how to use it wisely. I like social media. It helps me be connected with people. And so I'm telling my students and teaching them how, there are so many people out there who claim to be Bible teachers or claim to be Christians, and so many voices coming at them. How do you decide who to listen to? And I said, well, here's a big one. If somebody comes along and says, "I got something new for you from the Bible," run. The Bible says what it says. It's been saying it for thousands of years. God has not given someone a new dispensation, nor has he said, "Oops, I've forgotten." A God that does not remember what he says and changes his mind about what he says to his people, that's not God. And so I tell them that. So you're going to hear me say the same things a lot of time, because I'm not nor am I a topical teacher. I'm a text teacher, and that's what I do. There's reading the Bible, and there's reading the Bible well. There's a lot of people who read the Bible and take it out of context and apply it in ways it was never meant to be applied. But then there's reading the Bible well. Reading the Bible well means understanding biblical genre in context. We often get bogged down when not reading it in context. We read law like it's a historical narrative, or we read descriptive passages as prescriptive. The majority of the Bible is descriptive passages, but we have applied them as prescriptive, meaning it's telling us what's occurring. It's not telling us how to live that way. If the entire Bible was prescriptive, that's all. Can you imagine that every verse was how we were supposed to live our lives? Every single verse in the entire Bible? That's not what it is. Most of the time it's descriptive, not prescriptive. Then we're going to get into imperative and all of that later when we get in the New Testament. But when we look at this, so I think so many times when we're getting in, and I really am I enjoy the new format for the site, that it's easy to interact with each other. I love that it is like social media, that I can click like on things and you can see me interact with you. I love that. And I love people saying that they're finally getting Leviticus. Thank you very much. I really am trying my best to help you understand a book, because it's much maligned and I love it. So I want us to zoom out. I think we can get down into Leviticus and get so bogged down and trying to read it in a way that it's not meant to be read. Then let's zoom back out from the airplane view and take a look. Because we're going to talk about law. Leviticus is one of the books of the law. Also called the 5 books of Moses, also known as the Torah. The Greek name would have been the Pentateuch. But all the laws in the Bible are part of a story that finds its ultimate fulfillment in Jesus. Remember, there's no plan B. Jesus is the plan. There are 611 laws in the Bible that can bore us. That's mostly why people, they're going to read the Bible in a year, and you hit Leviticus and done. Because they get bored. Or they're so confused, they're like, never mind. Or fascinated. I mean, like, you get in there and you read some of this stuff and you're like, whoa, I want to read more of this. And many other things. But I want us to see that the law is a magnifying glass. Think of that. And once we get to the New Testament, we'll talk about the law, especially in the book of Romans. That should help us discern the will of God. That's what the law is there for. But what it does is, N.T. Wright says that the Bible is like a magnifying glass, that the law is like a magnifying glass, in that it should help us to discern the will of God. But what it does is also magnifies the human condition in the lives of the family of Abraham and burns them. I mean, so you see that the sin, it magnifies it and shows it to us. But God has always wanted a people to listen to his voice. To listen to his voice. Not to other things they're seeing. Not to things that they're feeling. Not to other things going on in the world that are contrary to. He's always wanted his people to listen to his voice. By listening to his voice, his people are able to fulfill the partnership of ruling and resting in creation. The very thing that Adam and Eve got wrong. And we all have sins. Except Jesus. Except Jesus. Adam and Eve, and we're going to go deeper in this in one of our lessons next week. But Adam and Eve were supposed to listen to the voice of God. And they thought they knew better. And they stopped listening to the voice of God. They listened to the serpent. Then they listened to themselves. And they listened to all the things except the voice that were created to listen to. Jesus doesn't do that. Jesus listens to the voice of God and obeys. And so, throughout the Old Testament, we're not given his name yet. We're given a title. Messiah. Anointed one. The one chosen to fulfill all the laws. I mean, he'll say when he comes, I've not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. So Messiah is going to bring about the true fulfillment of the law. Messiah is going to listen to the voice. And Messiah is going to do everything the law required. Every commandment from Genesis 3 forward, Jesus will obey. Jesus, it just hit me. Sorry. God's been waiting for thousands of years for someone to listen to his voice. But we've been given a historical record of people who listened to their own voice or listened to the voices that surrounded them, thinking that they know better. Jesus let God be the one who knows. And that's true wisdom. And we're going to look at this more throughout the Old Testament as we start hitting on each of the covenants, as we start getting revealed more and more about Messiah. But we need to understand that it has all been about that relationship with God back in the garden. To listen to his voice. And Jesus will bring that back for us. Because he alone is able to do it. So, we'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.